be trying to obviously take you through what transfers are really going in through, as we note it that Arsenal are obviously going to have to bring in Piero, Hincapie in, Reiss Nelson and Fabio Vieira have obviously gone ahead to obviously leave the side of Arsenal in there for you. And as we speak, the club of Arsenal, the deadline is really left with 3 hours and 25 minutes plus 40 seconds, as reported in here, coming in through from what we call the side known as the Sky Sports. A lot of deals are really happening in, and clubs are really doing the needful. And guess who has gone ahead to obviously be the man who has obviously gone ahead to spearhead and really win the summer transfer window, especially the deadline? It's none other than Aston Villa. Aston Villa has gone ahead to obviously bring in very many players that we never even expected to see really playing at the side of Villa. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are talking Nicholas Jackson, Mark Gehi. We are talking Jadon Sancho. We are talking Harvey Elliott. We are talking Victor Lindelof and very many others that are obviously going to be really moving to different clubs altogether. Clubs are really busy. They are busy. And Arsenal are really offloading with one player in on the deadline day set to be announced. Now, we are really welcoming one of our first sponsors, I think, for this year. He goes by the names of La Grande Studios and Events. La Grande Studios and Events are really dealers in sound system. They organize events. They really do what we call proms. And they were the first. They were, hear this out, they were the first events company to do a prom ever in Kampala, Uganda. And that was way back in 2010. They did the first prom and they organized it in there. And they really have expertise and technical know-how in really organizing this. So they are really in. You can as well call them onto those particular numbers, as they are really good and the services they offer are really there onto the right hand side of our screen. So let's obviously jelly in well with La Grande Events and really get into these stories that are really making headlines right about now. So Arsenal have gone ahead to bring in Piero Hincapie. Hincapie is in at the club of Arsenal and he's obviously going to be announced anytime from now. The announcement is really pending, but it's imminent, as told to us by Fabrizio Romano and very many others in here onto this beautiful channel known as the Rokani Media Football. Very many stories are really happening in here, and I would like to let you know that the side of Arsenal has seen 2 players so far leave on the deadline day, and those players go by the names of 1, Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira is really one of those that has gone ahead to obviously make a very huge move from the side of Arsenal. But the most shocking thing is that Arsenal hasn't obviously gone ahead to get in a permanent deal. They are all deals, loan options with a mandatory option to obviously see to it that these players obviously do the needful and really stay that side. Fabio Vieira has gone ahead obviously join Hamburg. It's a deal done. Loan with an option to buy worth 20 million euros. By the way, for Fabio Vieira, he's one of those players that we really thought would obviously come in through and really put in a very huge shift, because he was sought to be the new Bernardo Silva. When you look at his style of play, obviously he plays like a real Bernardo, but we are all shocked that he never lived up to his expectations, and we are here still wondering what really went wrong into the career of a player known as Fabio Vieira, as most of us thought that he would obviously come and meet the expectations of a lad called Mikel Arteta and Bernardo Silva. But Arsenal went ahead, obviously loaned him to FC Porto, and FC Porto is like, we don't want to keep him in here. That's why he has obviously gone ahead to go to Hamburg. And I think when you look at his physicality, he's that kind of player that I think was not meant for the Premier League immediately when he crossed from the Portugal side to the Premier League. I think he needed to obviously first be there for some time and then maybe go to Germany, Spain, and when he was like 25, 26 years of age, then he would have gone ahead, obviously, attain what we call the physical attributes for the Premier League. Because Bernardo Silva, before he came to the Premier League, he first played in League One, one of the physical leagues that we've gone ahead, obviously, watch in the long while. It's all about that side called the League One, and it has gone ahead, obviously, make lots of players. That's why when Bernardo came in through in the Premier League from Portugal to League One, he never really had hardships when he was playing in for the side of Man City. And I think the other reason is that the manager of Man City went ahead to see a lot of things in a player known as Fabio Vieira, and he gave him ample playing time. The players that he was playing with were really exquisite. You know, they really knew what the game of football was all about. Because if you are a player who is really having Yaya Toure with you, you are having Fernandinho with you, you are having Kevin De Bruyne with you, you are having Riyad Mahrez. He really had players that helped his quality really grow in. But for Arsenal, I think Fabio Vieira came in through and really had a very fantastic first season, but the injuries went ahead to obviously affect his season and long stay at the club of Arsenal. That's why I think in Germany at Hamburg, he'll obviously do the needful and find himself doing the needful as a player for the club of Hamburg. And I believe Arsenal will obviously get in the 20 million euros from the so-called team that really wants to sign this player who goes by the names of Fabio Vieira. He's really a very good player, and I tell you what, he's obviously going to be doing the needful and really putting in a shift that we think will take Arsenal to the next level in far as getting money is concerned. Remember, they paid 35 million euros to bring him at the club of Arsenal, meaning that they would have gone ahead to obviously collect back all their money, by the way. They really invested in him. Why? If they get 20 from the side of Hamburg, remember, FC Porto really paid some loan fee, and even Hamburg is also going to be paying some huge loan fee. And remember, when he went to FC Porto, Arsenal was paying like 20-30% of his salary, and at Hamburg will be doing the needful to obviously pay almost 70% of his salary. That's what Arsenal really going to be benefiting from the player. But he's really a very superb player. I really love him, but I tell you what, things sometimes don't really pan out into the best way possible, as you can't really find yourself in a position of underestimating whether he will obviously get back to the levels we know him, or else he will obviously not really do the needful. So that is all about Fabio Vieira for you, a player that was brought in throughout Arsenal to obviously come and really compete for that number 10 position with Martin Odegaard. But injuries went ahead to ruin his season at the club of Arsenal. Remember, Arsenal fans were really even shocked when he first appeared into the public domain, when he was really wearing what we call a protective boot. And Arsenal fans were like, Arsenal went ahead to sign a very, very injury-prone player. And he came out and said, it's just a minor injury, but he never really started immediately with Arsenal in the preseason in the US. And the player went ahead to obviously play in some good games down there into the mix. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Through smash like button, comment and share, and continue to go ahead and really subscribe to this beautiful channel of ours in here. From there, let's obviously see another player that is going to obviously leave the club of Arsenal. He goes by the names of Reiss Nelson. And for Reiss Nelson, he has obviously found himself in a position of really rubbishing all opportunities outside the Premier League, because teams in Turkey wanted him, in the Saudi Pro League they wanted him, and he was like, I want to stay in the Premier League. And what is that team that has gone ahead obviously win the rest of Reiss Nelson? The team goes by the names of Brentford. And Fabrizio told us that Brentford agreed deal to sign Reiss Nelson from Arsenal. Here we go. Nelson has chosen to join Brentford on loan, turning down interest from other Premier League clubs as well as European sides. He's now on his way for his medical. And this is one of the things I really told Reiss Nelson, that when he went ahead, obviously, have a very spectacular season at Arsenal, that was 2022-2023, he wouldn't have gone ahead to obviously extend his contract at Arsenal, because when he extended his contract at Arsenal, teams like Brighton that really wanted him pulled out, and he went ahead not to have a very good 2023-2024 season at Arsenal, as he couldn't obviously break into that team of Arsenal. You understand? And he never really played in a lot of minutes as a player. That really went ahead to affect his performance, and it really called in for one thing, that was to loan him to Fulham the following season. At Fulham, he was really unlucky last season that he really went ahead to obviously get some spells of injuries that never at any one point came up and really helped him out. He really suffered injuries and he returned at Arsenal. Now he's going into Brentford, and Brentford are really looking in for a replacement of Bryan Mbeumo, because he went in to the club of Manchester City. So he went Manchester United. And I've gone here to see also Wissa is one of those players that has gone ahead obviously find himself leaving the club of Brentford, and they really want to get in other players to obviously get the job done and dusted. The side of Brentford brought in Hutchinson in there to obviously see to it that they really try to fit the beats of Bryan Mbeumo, and they're really willing to build the lad. And I tell you what, if they connect very well, Hutchinson and a player known as Reiss Nelson, if they really connect very well, they can really cause havoc to any team. And all what Reiss Nelson has to do is to stay fit. He should stay fit and see how things are obviously going to be panning out into the mix. So those are two players that have gone ahead to leave, and Arsenal is obviously going to be getting in some limited loan fee from these clubs, and they'll obviously be playing the lion's share of the salary of these players. But there is also a mandatory option for Brentford obviously sign the player known as Reiss Nelson. That is it for the club of Arsenal in there for you. Not more news to talk about from Arsenal as far as transfers are really concerned. Let's obviously get into a deal of other players that have gone ahead obviously depart the Premier League. The other player that we have to discuss about goes by the names of Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott to Aston Villa. Here we go. Verbal agreement has been reached with Liverpool. Agreement in place with Liverpool on loan with obligation to buy guaranteed for £35 million package. Medical being arranged. Now, Liverpool, after getting in Mark Guehi and Alexandre Isak, they've gone ahead obviously find means to obviously sell some of the homegrown players. Remember, he's a homegrown player and he is one of those that is going to collect pure profit for the side of Liverpool. Now, everyone is asking, why is Liverpool spending hugely like this? When you look at the season that saw Ancelotti coming through, Liverpool only went ahead to sign one player. You understand? And that player went by the names of Chiesa. You understand? You know? And I think they were really last busy in the summer transfer window when they brought in McAllister, so Basilai, who else? You get? After bringing in all those players, the following summer, they never went ahead into the market to obviously sign any player. And now, they have a lot of money to spend. Minus the money that was there, Liverpool has gone ahead obviously sell some players. Darwin Núñez, I think they sold him for 55 million euros. They went ahead to sell Luis Diaz to Bayern for, was it 70 million euros? That is like 130 million euros combined. And that only money can obviously go ahead and really bring in Alexander Isak. You know, now they're trying to move out players and see to it that they really find themselves in a position of really creating space where Isak will obviously play, and see to it that their homegrown player known as Elliott really finds himself into a better position to obviously create magic after magic by providing him with ample playing time at Aston Villa. Now, he goes in at Aston Villa. I think is a replacement for Leon Bailey, who left, and Jacob Ramsey into the mix. He can play as a central attacking midfielder. He can also play as a right attacking midfielder. That is Harvey Elliott for you. But Aston Villa, why I've gone ahead obviously include this story into what I'm obviously talking about right now is because Aston Villa have gone ahead obviously bring in 3 players on the deadline day. The first player to obviously come in through was Victor Lindelof, and he has been unveiled in there, 2.5-year contract, free agent, as he left Man United when they couldn't obviously extend his contract in there. The other player is Jadon Sancho from Manchester United. Jadon Sancho has signed for a team known as Aston Villa. Loan, you know, from Manchester United in there. That is Jadon Sancho for you. The other player is Harvey Elliott. 3 players have gone ahead to join one club. You know, that means a side called Aston Villa have been the kings of this summer transfer deadline day. I tell you, with some 3 hours left for this to obviously end, it looks like the side of Aston Villa has gone ahead obviously getting some good players. And by the way, when you lose Jacob Ramsey, you know, Leon Bailey, Duran, you obviously have to get in players as really anticipated. And for Villa, they've really worked hard to see to it. They're obviously getting a defender in Victor Lindelof, and they've also gone ahead to find themselves in a position of really getting in Jadon Sancho. And the most exciting of all these is Jadon Sancho. If Sancho really settles in well at the side of Villa, then they'll obviously see themselves really getting their season back on the road, because this season they haven't gone ahead obviously win any game. The first game they played, it was a 0-0 draw at Villa Park with Newcastle. Then they went ahead to obviously have a loss at Brentford 1-0. Then over the weekend they lost to Crystal Palace by 3-0. And remember, Crystal Palace had no Ebelechi Eze in there. So it shows you that they need to reinforce their squad immediately. And that's why they're really working hard to bring in players left, right, and center. When they return from the international break, Sancho, Harvey Elliott, and Victor Lindelof might make their debut when they're playing against Everton. Right? When they're playing against Everton in there for you. And then they have to play against Sunderland. Then the UEFA Europa League starts on the 25th of September, where they will be playing Bologna. That is it. So we wait and see how Villa really comes in through to obviously settle in with all what they've got ahead to put in. But I tell you what, they fought a very good battle at the side of Villa, and we wait to see how these players will come and reinforce their squad, because reinforcement is a must for Villa, as they won't see another season, as Unai Emery won't see another season with Villa if he continues to produce such and such results into the mix. So that's what you're really having in through from a man known as Monchi and Unai Emery. They've gone ahead obviously do the needful, and they've gone ahead to put in a very good shift altogether in there. So from there, let's go to another player that has left City. He's a player known as Manuel Akanji. Inter agreed deal with Man City to sign Manuel Akanji. Here we go. 2 million loan fee, 15 million euros by option, close to become mandatory only under difficult conditions. Akanji set for medical as he agreed to the move. Now, very many clubs were really interested in Manuel Akanji. You know, Crystal Palace had seen him as a replacement for McGahey, who has obviously gone ahead to sign for the side of Liverpool. You understand? Then, is it Besiktas or Fenerbahce? One of those teams really wanted him. And this Italian side has swept in and they've been able to sign Manuel Akanji. He's a very good defender. And I think Man City are like, they're coming in through Kusanov, won't see him really gate and have playing time. And the manager is like, you've played your part at Man City. You are really a legend already because you are part of the historical team of Man City that went ahead to win what we call the treble, as you remember very well. And it's like, you've left as a hero and we can't really keep you here because we know to eat that. You need ample playing time and we cannot really guarantee it because City is really having Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Kusonov, Jesco Vadio. 5 central defenders. You can't really beat any of those. And through the assessment they've gone ahead to make, it looked like he's the right guy to obviously leave the side of City into the mix. And on the same day, City has gone ahead to see their goalkeeper, who has been long-serving. He goes by the names of Ederson, leave the side of City into the mix. So Manuel Akanji has gone ahead to leave Man City, and we are waiting to see how things will obviously pan out into the mix. Now, let me get into the comment section and see what you guys are really saying. Cherotich Ivan, good evening. DJ Denzo, good evening. Rokani, good evening to you. How are you? Omar Lewis, hello bro. We heard Rodrigo might come to Arsenal on loan before deadline. It is true, all any news about him. Rodrigo has gone ahead to make his decision that he's obviously going to be staying at the side of Real Madrid and fight for the position. And the manager told him, you have to fight for this position with Vini Jr. And I think Rodrigo really has a better skill set. And he will obviously pull out moments that will entice the manager to obviously see to it that he gets played into the starting 11 of Real Madrid. David Sozi, thanks bro for your time and effort. All right, thank you too. Moses Henry, good evening RD. Tell us if all our outgoing players are already out. Your outgoing players, I think you have Reiss Nelson out, Fabio Vieira out, Jakub Kiwior out. We are waiting for others, you know, and see who else will obviously be sold by the club of Arsenal. Then, listening to you from Ruchiga, Newly District. We love you from Great Hills of Chigezi. Great Hills of Chigezi. How are you doing, my people? Moses says, yesterday game, Arsenal team were unlucky, but Arteta, non-starting Eze on the left, as well as Odegaard, Owen Harry gave Liverpool a chance. But for me, I'm not blaming Mikel Arteta because as a manager, he did and got everything right. According to me, he got everything right. Even the team that went ahead to start created chances, dominated the game, but they failed to obviously find Victor Gyökeres a lot. You understand? They never really played into Victor Gyökeres a lot, but Arsenal really had everything to win the game, but they never really had a chance. And how come you blame the manager about the performance and the substitutions, yet we all agree to it that none of the players that he picked into his first 11 really went ahead to perform badly and really went ahead to shame him. You understand? All the players were really on point and they're really willing to go. So I don't find it any serious to obviously come out and really say that we blame the manager. I think he did his job. And if Liverpool had gone ahead to score Arsenal in open play, then you would have gone ahead to say all those words. But Liverpool got a set piece and they scored a free kick. You know, it's not an open play goal. So Arteta did what he had to do. He brought on Eze and Odegaard. I think they really did very well. And there is no way you can tell the manager that you start Eze immediately. You know, he knows to eat that, save the best for the last. And that's what the manager of Arsenal really went ahead to do into the mix. So that's exactly what you're really having in here. And hopefully 10 p.m. you'll be live to summarize transfers. By the way, I think it's 8 p.m. As we speak right now, when you add 3 hours now, 3 hours, that means 6, 7, 8. At 8 p.m., that's when it's really closing, because the deadline countdown is having 3 hours left. You understand? So 3 hours left, and no way we obviously get that side. You understand? So let's wait and see how that pans out. But we are here to let you know that a lot is really happening, and lots of things are really gonna be happening, and deals are really getting done and dusted. The players are really undergoing medical, and in the next 3 hours, we don't know whether your favorite teams will obviously have to come up and obviously put in a very huge shift all together and really get this done and dusted as anticipated in there. Then Inziku Cosmos, good evening, Aradi. You think that Arsenal will get another player? They are not getting any other player. That's it. Get it from me. Hincapie is the last signing that Arsenal have gone ahead to make. Sendagile Ronald, hello bro. Thanks for the analysis. Update me about Albert Sambi Lokonga. Albert Sambi Lokonga is one of those that has gone ahead to obviously leave. I think he left yesterday, and he went to Hamburg also. So Arsenal has gone ahead, obviously loaned 2 players to Hamburg, and he completed his medical yesterday. The final details of the central midfielder from Arsenal will be confirmed. You get? And they told us that a series of outgoings expected at Arsenal today. Understand Albert Sambi Lokonga is joining Hamburg on a permanent transfer. That is it. Fabio Vieira could also has gone to join on a long season loan in Germany. Jakub Kivio in Porto in there. Reiss Nelson is also going to play for another side. Zinchenko to Marseille remains one to watch. All parties working on an exit. So that of Zinchenko is one of those deals that has failed to obviously mature or materialize. But these other deals are really happening, and a lot of things are really going on into the best direction altogether. Then Sendagira Ronald, hello bro, thanks for the analysis about Albert Sambi Lokonga. I've done that. Then Okrut Charles, good evening bro. Moses Henry says, do you have any updates on Rodrigo, Rafael and Semenyo coming to Arsenal? None of those is really coming to Arsenal. I've gone ahead, obviously, see Semenyo. I'm really one of those who went ahead, obviously, do a deal. That story of Semenyo, that Arsenal is a team that he wants to play for. But I never said that Arsenal wanted to obviously sign Semenyo. I'm seeing stories that Semenyo loan deal in there for you. I think these are really fake stories, because I'm not really seeing any credible source really linking these players to the club of Arsenal. I'm not seeing any credible source, I don't think that it makes sense for Arsenal to go in for Semenyo, right? Unless otherwise Leandro Trossard really leaves, then he will obviously see that deal in there for you. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But Rafael, no way he's coming to Arsenal, as I told you. As Fabrizio told you that Arsenal is not anywhere near to obviously signing this player. And he has never been on the list of left forwards that Arsenal are really interested in. Rodrigo, Arsenal went ahead to obviously have some talks with his side. But I tell you what, it never really went ahead to materialize. And Arsenal went ahead to choose Ebelechi Eze over Rodrigo. I tell you, £68 million would have gone ahead, obviously, do well the side of Real Madrid. But Arsenal found it very important to bring in a Premier League proven player who can play in multiple positions in that squad of Arsenal to obviously make the Arsenal squad even better and better and better. Look Abwao, Arteta signing Lookman for us. Not really, not really. I think it's Bayern Munich that are really pushing hard, obviously, get to the player, not Mikel Arteta. Then, Mui Manenwa. Hey, RD, watching you from Zambia. We were very unlucky yesterday, though Arteta was supposed to bring Eze and Odegaard at halftime. By the way, how serious is Saliba injury? We wait for it's called the diagnosis. And when it's really out from the physio room, I'll be the first person to come here and really update you about him. But I want to let you know that he has pulled out of the French national team and is not going to be playing into the next 2 World Cup qualifying games for the side of France. I'm having a Jesper. Hey, bro, update me about Saliba injury. I think I've just gone ahead, obviously, say it. So, guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. And thank you for obviously watching in through. We sign out for now. See you later. And I'll come back live, towards the end of the summer transfer window. I think at 7:30, 30 minutes to the end, to obviously summarize the entire summer transfer window and see which team has been the kings. But we all admit that Arsenal have been the kings of the summer transfer window. But even Liverpool has gone ahead to obviously do things. Corkers, Frimpong, Hektike, Witz, and a player called Isak plus McGahey. Oh, Liverpool has had quite a summer transfer window, guys. Liverpool has really had one. Let's all admit, Liverpool has had really one of those summer transfer windows that you can obviously talk about all day long. Then Denzo says, good job in there. Then Ivan says, good evening, bro. Arsenal transfer news. Hincapie is the only one that you're obviously adding to the cast of 7 players that you've already gone ahead to sign. No other player is expected to obviously coming through at Arsenal. Unless otherwise, Leandro Trossard is really shown the exit door. Though, it is really going to be hard for that to happen. Rokani David is my name. Continue to subscribe and please endeavor to obviously not give away business, especially when it comes to really organizing events. If you're having an event, call those numbers. La Grande Studios and events are really the best when it comes to really organizing an event. If you have a school, they really organize MDDs, prom parties, leavers parties, and so on and so forth. They really have some good services. They even take photos. If at all you feel like you want a passport photo, call them. They'll obviously give you the best of the services, and you'll come here and really tell me that, Rokani, you gave us a gig that really went ahead to obviously work for us. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. A sign up.